Hi everybody, Kathy here. Great to see you back again. If you're new to my channel, thanks for popping by. Hope I inspire you enough to come back and subscribe. And if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Today we're doing a Christmas layout for Christmas in November. Let's get to it. So it is November already, and I'm Kathy with my layout for the Christmas in November hop, and I am a little bit late, but I've still got it managed to be done. I've got these photos from last year of myself with my daughter when we did our Sydney trip through the lights, and I'm going to use this uniquely creative paper here to build this layout because I love this door frame and it reminded me of those photos straight away as soon as I saw it. So it is from the uniquely creative range called Christmas in December, and so I'm going to use some cutout from here. I love this side, but I'm not using it today. That might be a future thing. I am definitely fussy cutting out this wreath here, and I'm going to use the top part there to mount my photos. It is pretty paper, as you can see. I love this range, and my final piece of paper that I'm using is a Kaisercraft one. It's an old one because it's got that wood grain and it picks up the colours from my photos. So let's get started with the process, and it's actually going to be a lot of fussy cutting and a lot of layering. So to prepare my base, I want a little bit of interest besides just the wood grain. So I'm going to use a stencil, and I'm going to do the background using the aged mahogany through the stencil. And I like this stencil. It's a uniquely creative one as well, and it has a layered dot effect or a square effect in this one where it goes from small squares to larger squares, and I actually like the imprint that it leaves when you use your distress oxide or your distress ink through that layout. Now a lot of it will be covered up, but I just wanted some more detail in the background given that all the elements are so busy with this fussy cutting. I'm also using that aged mahogany to go around the edges of the fussy cut item so that it lifts off the page but also gets rid of that white edge that you get sometimes when you're cutting paper. So as you can see, I fussy cut through all of those pieces and just taken the parts that I want to use on this layout. And this will be a layered layout, as I said, where everything comes together on top of each other. So I've just inked all the edges with that distress ink, and now I'm going to start putting the layout together. The photos, as I said, were of myself and my daughter when we went into Martin Place last year for the Christmas walk. We go to the city every year to see the light displays that the City of Sydney puts on. And in Martin Place, there's this door frame, and it's absolutely beautiful, and they deck it with holly and lights, and so we were taking our photos there. There were lots of people trying to get family photos there as well, so for a while my daughter and I stood there taking photos for pet families, because there's nothing worse than when you're trying to take photos and you just get you and one of the children and the dad's taking the photo and so forth. So we offered to take photos for families so that they could have all of them together. And that's just that nice thing about Christmas. You just go in and you help people. And then somebody reciprocated and took one of my daughter and I in the same. So what I'm doing here is I've cut the long one that I had from that piece of paper in half so that I can use it to layer up the photos. And that way it goes across the page. Now, as I said, the leftover from that fussy cut I'm going to use to mount this photo, and I only wanted to mount one, and that's the one with the two of us, and I'm inking the edge of that page just to lift it up off all that busyness in the background. Now you can see that there are spots that were not stenciled enough, so I've just added a bit more in just to add a little bit of interest to that background. So I'm putting that photo in underneath there, and I was at first going to pop it, but then I'm leaving it flat because I am popping all the beautiful fussy cut wreath that I'm using from the uniquely creative paper. So I've trimmed that photo down just a little bit so it doesn't cover all that door frame, and then as you can see I've layered up those pieces that I have fussy cut from the paper. Now I'm using foam tape here to get it up off the flatness of the background, and also to add some dimension and some shadowing, which also adds to the interest of the layout. And that's just a little trick to use to create some interest and shadowing across your pages when you put them together. So I'm going to leave this one flat so that it's against the photo, and it doesn't matter that it's covering up parts of the photo because you can see the whole gist through the whole 3 photos that I've included. And I really do like how the door frame in that paper sits and is like another door to this layout. I'm adding in the title here, and I'm cutting up the foam tape into little pieces so that the whole thing pops up, and it is magical. So it just gives that magical Christmas sparkle with the lights in the holly. I'm adding in where it was and when it was, because that's always important. And with the stickles here, I am adding in some red on the berries, the holly berries, just to make them shine. And then I'm adding some gold into the middle of the flowers that are in this wreath. I don't want to overpower the layout, but I do want it to shimmer just a little. And then I'm putting some crystal into the middle of the poinsettias so that you have that little touch of sparkle of Christmas right across the page. Now to finish off, I'm going to use some Dina Wakley's gilt stain. It's an opaque stain, which I like because it gives it a nice thick appearance with these splatters. And I'm putting the gold in because that's highlighting the colours in my photos, and it's also highlighting colours in the wreath. And just to finish off, I'm going to use the Dina Wakley white as well, and that will then add that little special sparkle effect to the layout. And I need to be careful when I'm doing it. I don't know why I always do my sparkles after I put my photos down. The splatters should probably go down before the photos, that way I don't get them on my photos. But I do like the effect that it is having on this layout, and it's just adding like a twinkling light around the page. So just adding that little bit extra, that little bit of sparkle, that little bit of magical touch to your layouts by adding these splatters of paint or ink onto your layout. So there's my layout for this month. Another Christmas layout from 2023 done, getting ready to take the 2024 photos into the new year. So that's how this has come together. You can see that it's lifted up. You can see all the sparkles there with the different stickles, and the background is lifted with that stenciling. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope something here inspires you. If it does, give me a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know you like my content. Thank you for watching all the way through. I really do appreciate the time out of your day. There is a playlist down below. Please check it out. Go and give some love to everybody who's playing along, and I'll see you in my next layout. Coming up here is my recommendation for you. Please check it out. I'm Kathy. Thanks for watching. Happy scrapping till next time.